What's going on, everybody? How you doing? My name is Curtis Noss. I am the caffeinated trader. So, as you probably seen from the title, making $10,000 off $1,000 in 3 months. When I did this was back in, I think, September 2018, 2017. Either way, it started in September. So the end of August, actually, it was about the end of August. I started with $1,000. Well, originally I started with 250. That was in about March, and it took me about, well, from March to September to make that 250 into $1,000. I went up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit, and I wasn't really getting anywhere with it. Finally, I got to that $1,000 mark, and then let me tell you, things increased dramatically. So I don't know what I was doing differently. Because like that whole time I was trying out different little strategies. I was still new to trading. I traded for about a year or so with a demo account, and like I started originally with Investopedia. They used to have a simulator. So a friend I knew, I was in school at the time. I was doing a business course at college. He kind of told me about this thing you could trade stocks with, simulator. Um, and I thought it was a little interesting, whatever. But I wasn't totally into the whole stock trading, investing world. I found out that Investopedia also had a Forex trader, so you can trade currencies the same way that I was trading the stocks. So I tried that out, and that was a lot more interesting to me. I decided that I was gonna pursue that rather than doing the stocks. And at this point, I was still playing around. Like it was nothing, to be honest. Um, but it was fun. Like I enjoyed it. So I kept doing that for a little bit, and then I kind of just gave up on it. This was probably about 3 months in. I just stopped doing anything with it. And then maybe 2 months went by. I decided I was, for whatever reason, I don't know why. I ended up downloading MT4 platform on my phone, and I traded with that for, I mean, the remainder of probably 5, 6 months or so. And then, I started, I think, that MT4 platform had $1 million demo account. So I turned that $1 million into about 2 million in that 6 months, whatever it was. So I was hooked, right? So I opened up my first live account about a year, maybe a couple months after I originally started learning about it. I watched like every video you can possibly think of on YouTube. I read books about it. I tested like all these different indicators, the ones that were on the MT4 platform anyway, right? Just on the demo account on my phone. I wasn't trading off a computer at the time. Didn't even really think about it, to be honest. But anyway, I opened up a live account. I can't even remember the company name, but it was based out of Cyprus. And let me tell you, that money went so quick. I think it was like a week, and I blew through a couple $100, I think it was. But anyway, yeah, it was gone real quick. So I traded with the demo again for a little bit because I, I knew I needed to learn a little bit more. Eventually, I ended up hearing about CMC markets. Well, I actually did a little bit of research in different brokers that I could open with that were a little bit more secure, to be honest. The other one, honestly, I couldn't even find very much research on it. No idea why I even opened an account with them, to be honest. But I did. I was still new. And I'm sure probably some of you did the same thing or might have ended up doing that if someone like me didn't tell you to do your research on brokers before you open up an account. So anyway, The CMC markets, they're actually based out of the UK. They do have an office here in Toronto. So I'm a little bit further north than Toronto, but they are near me anyway. So, I trusted them. I was looking at Owanda, and I just decided to go with CMC. I do like their platform a little bit better than Owanda's. The only thing I do like about Owanda is you can connect it to TradingView, which is the website that I like to plot my charts on. I have to trade off my broker's platform because they don't connect, but it's whatever. That's irrelevant. So, when I opened my account with CMC Markets, I only started with $250. That's all I really had at the time. I was still a student, so I didn't have a ton of money. But I kept it going somehow. I made a little bit, lost a little bit, made a little bit, lost a little bit, but never really got anywhere. And back to the original story, I finally made it to that $1,000 mark. Let me tell you, I was so happy, but that's when things really got real quick. So after the first month, I ended up making, I think it was $1,500 off that 1,000. So I was now at 25. October came. That money just grew and grew. That because now I was at 25. The amount, and let me tell you, my risk management was not very good. I was making some heavy trades. That's how I was able to make this money. But it happened, and it just seemed like I couldn't make a wrong trade. Yeah, I did close the odd loss, but honestly, 90% of them were winners, and I was betting heavy on them. My risk to reward was ridiculous. So I ended up making, it was probably 3,000-4,000 off that 25 in October. November made it into 10,000. Then, what I didn't tell you in that title, that $10,000 in the month of December, it was gone. Let me tell you, that money was gone so quick. I was so disappointed. I just kept taking loss after loss after loss. And I didn't know what I was doing different. I felt like I was doing everything the same. But one thing that I did notice, when I started taking losses, I would get upset and I would try to put more money onto the next trade, risking more than I was even in the first place. But that was probably the worst thing I could do, because a $100 loss turned into a $200 loss, which turned into a $300 loss, and then a $400. And they just kept increasing as my position sizing kept increasing, because I was trying to make all that money back. So, yeah, 1 month, 10,000 gone, just like that. Basically took me a year to get that. Well, whatever, 7 months. Took me 7 months to get $10,000. Gone. Gone in one. And that's the importance of risk management in trading. You need to make sure you're not over trading. Make sure you're not putting on too large of positions and wishing and hoping that the market's going to come back in your direction, because likely it's not. Just close the trade, let it do what it does, and if you get another single to enter, you can enter back in, but take a small loss rather than a big loss, because yeah, that money was gone real quick. So there was a lot of lessons I learned. Obviously every person still makes mistakes. I still make stupid choices sometimes. I'm not perfect. And I'm sure every single trader out there still makes mistakes from time to time, because it's hard to stay disciplined. It is. I'm not going to lie. And if anybody tells you different, they're lying to you. 100% they're lying to you, because everybody jumps in a little early sometimes, and they should. because they're, you think it's in a good spot, but it's not perfect. It's not at that exact spot where you want it to be. You didn't, the candle might not have closed yet in the formation that you wanted it to close, but you're trying to get in early. You're trying to get that extra couple pips in, you know. It's very hard to stay 100% accurate to your system and the way you should be trading to stay consistent and to give yourself the highest probability of being correct on the trade and being profitable on that trade. So there's a lot of things we're going to talk about on this channel. We're going to talk about risk management and how to actually look at where to place stop losses, where to place your take profit as well, because depending on the time frame you're trading on, your take profit is going to be at different locations. You're going to hold that trade for a little bit longer on a longer time frame. You're going to hold it for a very short time on a short time frame. So there's a lot of things you got to learn about that, where you should place your stop loss, because each time frame has a different range that you might get stopped out very easily at certain parts. So we're going to talk about a little bit of risk management. We're going to talk about trading psychology, because let me tell you, my mindset was so messed up when I was losing that money. So messed up. Taking loss after loss and then increasing those losses. Let me tell you, my head was so messed up. I didn't even know what to do with myself anymore. I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit trading. I really did. But I didn't. I figured there was something I was doing wrong, which, I mean, I did learn little bits of what I was doing wrong. So, I mean, I guess that's all that really matters, is you learn from your mistakes. But yeah, so we're going to talk about trading psychology a little bit as well. Different things about your mindset that you should be in. If you wake up in a bad mood that day, maybe it's not the best idea to trade that day. If you got other things going on in your life that are pressing at the time, studying for exams, that I realized that was kind of a bad thing for me when I was in school. When I was studying for exams, I was still trying to trade, and I would make bad decisions because I knew, I guess subconsciously, that I shouldn't even really be trading, or I should be studying rather. So I should be studying and I was wasting time. So psychologically, I knew that I wasn't going to perform as good on my exam, and that was playing into my trading. So it depends what's going on in your life, right? So we're going to get deeper into that in the trading psychology videos. But we will talk about different things to do with just basic price action, indicators, fundamentals. There's a lot of fundamental things that you need to know. Every country has different economic numbers that come out that you should keep track on. Anyway, that is the potential that you can do in this market. You can make those gains. Will it happen that fast for you? I don't know. It all depends on the person you are, your style of trading, and your dedication to learning and being disciplined when trading. So it all depends on you, really, and how much effort and time you're gonna invest in yourself and this career. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little story. So if you want to learn more about trading the markets, trading Forex, trading commodities, because I do look a little bit at oil and gold as well. They're a little bit riskier, not going to lie. They really are a lot more volatile than the Forex market. The Forex market can get crazy at times, but oil and gold are on a whole nother level, let me tell you. So anyway, if you want to learn a little bit more about trading in general, if you already know a little bit, maybe you can pick up a couple little things that maybe you missed along the time that you've been trading. Some little tips that I've accumulated over the years. And yeah, just like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Have yourself a wonderful day. Take care.